Hey, Void, how you doing? So, keeping up the pace pretty good. So, making up time for that 2-month hiatus. And then the couple weeks I keep saying I'm going to do reviews every day, and then weeks will go by. Oh, three in a night. Doing pretty good. So, next giant monster movie we're talking about. Or something completely different. Either way. Yuri on Ice. So, 2016 figure skating anime. Right up my normal wheelhouse, I know.
You'll watch anything.
Oh, yes, exactly. But I was going to say, anyone who's watched me long enough, and we are now over 500 episodes, so it is clear I will watch anything. And for anime, I pretty much would have thrown on anything anyway, so. So, Yuri on Ice, you want to take away with the plot?
So, it's about a skater named Yuri, as you might guess.
A name bordering on the titular.
Who messes up a competition, kind of freaks out. He goes back home. He's not sure if his career is going to be over. He's kind of trying to decide what his next move is. And then all of a sudden, his figure skating idol shows up after a picture of, after a video of his performance of him performing one of his idol's routines at his home rink, gets posted online.
Goes viral,
and suddenly his idol is in his house being like, I'm going to be your coach now. And wacky hijinks ensue.
Not only that, he walks in on him naked in the hot springs. That's kind of pretty much our initial reaction to him. Was just, hey! Alright. And goes up there. His idol is retiring and is saying, hey, I'll be your teacher! But added to the complication is Yuri, not on the titular, is a younger figure skating rival. Yes, there are two Yuris. This one from Russia, who's was also wanted a routine choreographed by Victor. Victor. Then by Victor is so he shows up in Japan to challenge Yuri, and it's Yuri versus Yuri. Yeah, that's not confusing.
Well, they do start calling Russian Yuri Yurio.
Yep.
After they... this is confusing. I'm not sure why they named him this. They might have just done that to be funny. I don't know.
I think it's like a joke.
It does seem to be a joke, but...
Since it's a Japanese name and a Russian name, I think they're just kind of playing around with it. And, so it's, we get weird insights into the world of figure skating. I knew next to nothing about figure skating going into this. But apparently, a lot of their things are pretty accurate for it.
Oh, yeah. It was like, when it came out, like, a lot of figure skaters were, like, talking about it and saying it was a pretty good, accurate representation of what the world is like and things like that.
Like, the scoring is actually pretty well represented. The one thing that they do exaggerate on is how
many jumps they do.
The athleticism of the characters. Because their endurance is superhuman in this.
They're like, oh yeah, I'll just do 4 quads, no problem. Sure.
Yep,
So I grew up with figure skating. Like I haven't paid attention to it in probably about 20 years, but when I was a kid, I was really into it. I took lessons. I watched all the skating championships and things like that on TV. So yeah, it's like kind of like nice blast from the past for me, I guess. It makes me nostalgic.
And I did not. I knew nothing going into this. But it makes it easier for an outsider to follow. Like, just because I didn't understand exactly the scoring thing, they do a good job explaining things, and for how things are ranked, they actually will do a little mini exposition thing. Well, so it makes it very easy for someone who has no idea on this to follow along. So, I was not confused. And you get a wide variety of other friends and rivals throughout the skating competitions that go through as he goes through a couple different tournaments trying to get into the
Grand Prix is the final one, I think.
I believe so.
I'm trying to remember. It's basically the Olympics is pretty much
the Grand Prix
what
final.
It is.
So essentially, so you get a wide variety of characters from multi nations, and each of them are eccentric, to say the least. Some of these are way over the top, and it's the side characters really sell this series for just watching them go all out. Kristoff, man.
Kristoff.
That guy.
Extra. Very extra.
Everyone in the series is extra, but that's kind of what makes it. The series is very over the top, but it definitely keeps your attention with the amount of energy it has because of that.
It's got a lot of heart to it. Like, there's a lot of hijinks, but there's also a lot of the main plot focuses around Yuri trying to overcome his insecurities and have confidence in himself and things like that. So it's an uplifting show to watch.
And also, there's quite a bit of focus on Yuri's relationship with Victor and how that's going and exactly where those two stand with each other, because neither of them seem to have any clue from the outset of how this is going to go. Since it's like, are we friends? Are we student and teacher? Are we rivals? Are we something more? They keep sending each other so many mixed signals throughout this that it's downright Shakespearean.
It is. It is pretty common knowledge that it's a gay romantic show. So I don't think that's a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
I spoil shit all the time.
Okay.
So just if you just let people know, hey, we're going to be spoiling things, and then if anyone wants to shut down, they can shut down.
I didn't see this when it first came out. I saw it a few years later, but I remember being online at the time and people just going nuts because they a lot of sports animes will be very homoerotic, but they won't actually do a romance. They'll be yes, eternal rivals, and then
eternal rivals with a squiggly.
But they won't actually be involved in canon. It's just something that the fans do because they hype up the relationship between the two so much. But this one actually does.
Yeah, most of us will kind of hint at things. This
one does go past the queer baiting stuff. Nope, they're going to be involved, and which is very nice.
They
and at the time it was
they exchange rings.
They do exchange rings. It's very sweet. It's also kind of nice that they seem to exist in a slightly parallel universe where homophobia doesn't really no one really reacts negatively to that aspect of things. People complain about the two of them for other reasons, Yurio being jealous of Yuri, but it's not because he's upset that they're two men dating. It's just
you stole my teacher.
So that it's nice to have that sometimes.
Yeah,
it's not really a conflict.
Yeah,
they have plenty of other conflicts.
Because a lot of times when those themes pop up, that being a conflict is so common that it's seen and done so many times, which is an important discussion to have.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's nice just to have people be okay with it.
It is nice. It's refreshing.
It is refreshing. So, it's definitely a very entertaining series. It's, for the most part, lighthearted, but it knows when to drop the hammer on your feels. But for the most part, it's a lighthearted sports anime, and it's very funny, very entertaining. I do highly recommend. So, I've been making you go first on the MacGuffin for a little bit, so I'll throw mine out here. Yuri is a 7 for me.
7 for you?
7 for me. So, the gay romance thing is not usually my forte, but I'm not opposed to it, but I like my ladies. So, this show does not have nearly enough ladies for me, but for what it is, works very well still, so that's the only thing, really. For me, it helps me to have something like that as a character to focus on and grasp onto. The main cast for this was very good, but the characters I liked the most were in it not nearly enough for me. Like some of the side characters, Kristoff.
Who's your favorite?
Probably Kristoff. Though, was it Pichinon?
Oh, yeah, the Thai guy?
Yeah. I probably am massacring his name, but he was also pretty good. And though the one overly serious guy whose girl left him, and
he was funny.
He is hilarious. So, a lot of those characters I wanted to see more of, and also JJ. Like I said, I love the side characters. I mean, the main couple, they're great, but in almost any anime series, I'm paying more attention to the side characters regardless. Almost any series, because usually the main characters are fine, but they don't have as much of a draw for me. these two, I will say the relationship was better done than a lot of the other animes I watched, so was hoping for them to succeed. But at the same time, the characters that are drawing my eye just weren't there as much as I'd like them to be.
They're not quite as, like... The side characters are a lot more out there, I think. The main ones are a little more grounded, at least.
It's a 12-episode series, so it is short and sweet. So I would have liked it to have been, if they'd done this over 2 seasons where you could actually see a little bit more in-depth. But at the same time, I could see it also getting kind of repetitive with it's just the same skating over and over. I could also see that being difficult to do. So I don't know exactly how, but maybe some more of the trainings.
There was, they were originally talking about doing another season, I think.
I think a movie is there.
Or a movie, yeah, it was a movie.
I think that's still forthcoming.
But I don't know where that is and if that's still a thing.
From what I was looking at, I think I saw that it was still coming, but hasn't come out yet. So there's a 2-minute OVA on here of just Yuri skating.
Yeah, it's just a short thing. But
so,
I guess, I do wish there was more of it, because I want to know where things go. I do like these characters, and I want to know kind of where things go from this point. So I would watch more. I'd be happy to.
They did leave it fully, then they did leave it open where it could continue, so...
So, I hope we get some more, either a season or the movie at some point, but I don't know, we'll see.
My anime list still does list the movie, Yuri on Ice, the movie, Ice Adolescence, but it's not out yet. It's no indication on when, so... I guess it was officially announced as delayed back in February, so...
Well, maybe someday.
But there's been a lot of delays for a lot of reasons on a lot of animes, so hard to say.
Also, there is sort of a twist at the end, towards the end, that makes watching the rest of it a second time 10 times funnier. Once you know what happened in the past, it's great.
There are a few flashbacks that are illuminating because you start right as Yuri crashes and burns, and pretty much it kind of glosses over a lot of that time period as it just seems to be him trying to focus on forgetting everything that happened there. But there's a few key details that
you get later.
I was glancing for the movie thing. What was the MacGuffin score you gave?
I haven't yet. I don't think.
Okay. Well,
you gave yours.
I gave mine
first, right? Okay.
Yeah, 7. 7, which it puts in the lower end of good. 7, 8, and 9 are good. 10 is perfect.
I don't know if I've ever given a 10 in these.
I've given plenty. Not often.
I've only been in 4 of them.
Yeah.
So
I've done over 500 reviews. I've probably given less than 10 10s.
It's not a 10. I do wish it was longer, so you had some more time to explore things and the characters and what happens to them afterward. Yeah, I'm going to say 9, though, because I don't know, I watch it, and all of a sudden I'm, 8 years old again, watching skating with my mom and seeing Tara Lipinski win the 96 Olympics, and it's just...
You're dating yourself.
I am dating myself. Oh, my God. It's a big nostalgia thing for me, and I like all the characters. It's very sweet, so I will give it a 9.
That's fair. All right, so 7, 9. All right, I think that's it on this one. See you later, Boyd. Not sure if there's another one forthcoming tonight or not, but we'll see. Have a good night, Boyd.